Global healthcare faces three primary issues: quality of care, patient safety, cost and scope of services. According to the New England Journal of Medicine, if you live in North America and you have a disease, and we know what that disease is, and we know the best way to treat that disease, the likelihood of that best practice being prescribed to you is roughly 50-50. Doctors get it wrong half the time, literally a coin toss. Now, if we diagnose and prescribe you correctly, the chances of us killing you anyway are pretty high. 25,000 a year, death or permanent disability in Canada alone. That's the equivalent of a fully loaded 747 going down once a week. And if air traffic control worked that way, we'd shut it down. Even worse, we cannot afford to continue at this level of service. Currently in Ontario, 42 cents of every provincial dollar is spent on healthcare, and it's not enough. The growth rate of chronic diseases alone is sufficient to bankrupt us in the near future. And no politician can fix this in a single electoral cycle. What are we to do? I have to admit I'm a technocrat at heart. I truly do believe that technology can solve many of our societal problems. Wouldn't the Star Trek food replicator be a great solution to world hunger? But we need more than a technology solution. We need to rethink our entire healthcare system. First, a little background. I'm a proud graduate of University of Waterloo, Systems Design Engineering, options in socioeconomic systems, management science, electives in psychology. In other words, how big complex systems work, how to run a business, and how people think. Still key interests of mine today. Through the cooperative education program, I discovered my vocation, the design and build of information systems, and also the concept of an academic approach to business, where continuous learning is a key to success. I started my career as a management consultant. Along the way, I was volunteered to do the delegate tracking for a political leadership convention. And I immediately became fascinated with the concept of using computer software and information about people to influence their behavior to your own ends. I started a company in my basement with some colleagues to pursue this concept further. It turned into customer relationship management for enterprise business. The business was successful. 10 years later, I sold it to my largest competitor for an outrageous amount, and I was rich. I retired. I bought a Ferrari. I built a house and a cottage. I took up golf. Well, I'm still trying to learn, actually. I gave $1 million to my hometown hospital. I joined my local hospital board. I put my name on the co-op building here. And I joined the UW Board of Governors. I founded a venture capital firm with my partners. Life was good. And then my wife got breast cancer. Life changed. Hers was a difficult case with a number of complications. Our journey through the healthcare system was an ordeal. Scheduling was a problem. You need 5 procedures. They need to be in this order. Pick up the phone, call the people, schedule the appointment, pick up the phone, call the next people. They manually enter the appointment, go through all 5. Oh, you need to reschedule the second one. Start from there and reschedule them all again. Hugely inefficient, not the way we do things in business typically. Surgical history was a problem. We're sitting in the surgical ward, waiting for the next procedure. This is roughly number 15. We've been here before, last one 30 days ago. They hand you a clipboard. Please fill this out pre-surgery. Included was a section, surgical history. It's blank. Really? Do they not know who we are and not know any of this history? Is this safe? Should we be here? Once they had the information, sharing it was also a huge problem. So the biopsy at one place, the surgery at that same place, the chemotherapy at that place. Now, for the radiation, you go to this other clinic. Take the mammogram with you. Don't forget to take the report with you. Arrive there. Got the mammogram. Good. Got the report. Good. Oh, this report is not for this mammogram. Oh, this is a complex case. Oh, you go home. We'll figure it out and we'll call you. As it turned out, it wasn't okay. But it wasn't a good way to treat the patient. In my own naive way, I looked at this and said, we solved all these problems in business before. We can fix this. and I started a new company. It took us about 3 years, but we wrote next generation cloud software. It was awesome. We followed every global, international, and Canadian guideline on how to construct interoperable electronic health record systems. We were very proud of this software. We went to take it to market, and we quickly discovered we couldn't even give it away. Now, at this point, we knew how to respond to a request for proposal. Checked every box, yes. Software's free. We'll do all the services at cost. We have the product done. We're ready to demonstrate it now. No response, no interest. We forced the situation. The answers we got were bad. You're from finance. You're not from healthcare. If you haven't deployed this somewhere else, we will not try it here. Now, their alternative at the time was writing custom software with consultants. And I think we all know that even from the best commercial vendors, 1.0 software usually sucks. The consultants were hugely expensive. The software that they produced didn't work very well. Sometimes it seemed not to work at all. And moreover, if it did work, it wasn't clear that it was going to solve our fundamental system problems. I needed to think about this. I needed to address the "you are not from healthcare" issue if we were to solve this problem. So leveraging my relationship at the university, I joined the advisory board of the Waterloo Health Informatics Research Institute. And that was my introduction to the world of interdisciplinary health informatics research. Learned a lot. Then something special happened. A dentist from Arnprior, Vaughn Glover, came through my door. He had been referred to me by the venture capital community and clearly had a passion to change the world. Vaughn was obsessed with the concept of people-centered health. He truly believed that healthcare had to transform to a people-centered model to be sustainable, a model where every individual was informed as to their health condition, educated to available treatment options, and ultimately responsible for the decisions they make about their own health and wellness. If we can encourage and enable people to be well, that's the key to lowering healthcare systems costs. One of Vaughn's favorite lines, how many healthcare systems do we need in Canada? 30 million. One that is tailored to each and every individual citizen. I helped Vaughn publish his book, I recommend it highly, Journey to Wellness, and together we founded the Canadian Association of People-Centered Healthcare. I then met Harvey Skinner, the Dean of Health at York University, and discovered that he was totally aligned with our concept of people-centered health, and we immediately added him to the board, along with Duncan Sinclair, the retired Dean of Medicine from Queen's University and a mentor of Vaughn's. I then held a series of dinner parties at my house to meet as many health informatics researchers as I could. Joe from UHN, a wireless device integration specialist. Paul, an expert on the psychology of behavior change. Robert, head of research at George Brown, a number of health informatics programs, as well as a chef's school. Kevin, health policy at U of T and an ardent patient advocate. And Alex, an eHealth innovation specialist and as charismatic a speaker on patient care as you'll ever hear. All agreed with the concept, all signed up. We now had a strong group of researchers in our association, and this became our academic research collaborative. Oops. With 3 million diabetics, something happened to part of my slide there, in Canada, Harvey felt strongly that diabetes was a looming epidemic that could bankrupt us. Now, diabetes is when your body cannot control its blood sugar levels anymore. Diet and exercise can really help. Obesity is a leading indicator. Now, unchecked, this disease ends badly. Blindness, amputation, heart failure, death. Not good. Harvey and his lead scientist, Paul, felt strongly that health coaching on diet and exercise with biometric feedback was the key to teaching sustainable behavior change to help diabetics and pre-diabetics be well. So we launched an innovation project with York. We got collaboration from all of our researchers on their specialties. We donated software and applied for grants. RIM donated handsets. Rogers donated bandwidth. And we deployed our trial solution at the Black Creek Community Health Center near York University. It was a cool project. We gave each participant a smartphone and said, Take a picture of your plate at every meal. Don't worry about counting calories or anything. Just take a picture. 20 minutes later, the phone would vibrate and ask them, how do you feel? What's your energy level? How was that portion size? Small, medium, large? How healthy do you think that meal was? A series of awareness questions. Now, the health coach in the cloud can see both the picture of your plate and your answer to the awareness questions and immediately message you back. That's enough fast food for this week. We should really discuss food group choices. And that is not an average portion size. So feedback to help provide some guidance. Now, on top of this, add other devices. A wireless pedometer. We want you to take 8,000 steps a day. Glucometer to measure blood sugar. Blood pressure cuff. Weigh scale. All wireless to capture biometric information. Then, the health coach uses that information to help coach or teach the participant the relationships between input behaviors, diet and exercise, biometric impact, and how you feel. So notice, when you follow our coaching advice, you feel well. Your biometrics are all trending to the green zone. Good work. We can lower your meds. And when you feel crappy, what's happened here? Look, your blood glucose has spiked. You haven't exercised in 3 days. Let's fix that. The project demonstrated real results with real evidence. We published it on our website, and we immediately had a number of commercial opportunities. We had established what I call an Ehealth innovation chain. Now, the concept of knowledge mobilization is taking research or ideation, a new idea, applying it, innovation, to create a product, and then commercialization, the selling of that product. So that was the intent. We took input from our collaborating researchers. We donated software and services to get matching research funds to apply that research on our product as a further research project in a living lab against real patients where we could get measurable results. This then became a reference for selling. Yes, in fact, it works. There's a doctor that you can talk to. The best thing is that this was a repeatable process. One of the next projects we did was to demonstrate connectivity between primary care, your family doctor, and a hospital. And we put this in an emergency department. And very early in the testing phase, we had an example of how important this could be. Parents brought their 4-month-old baby girl into the emergency department, requiring resuscitation. The parents were so distraught they could barely communicate. The hospital had no record of this child, did not know what was wrong. They fired up our system and started looking. Hospital had no record. They found a medical profile and a primary care in the surrounding area, and were able to present that in Emerge. It turned out that this child had had open heart surgery at Sick Kids in Toronto already, and because of that information, they were able to treat and resuscitate appropriately and, in essence, save her life. It was a tremendous feeling for us to know that this stuff could make a difference. Another similar project we're doing with Harvard Medical School and Beth Israel Deaconess Hospital is dealing on the point, when you leave the hospital or when you're done your doctor's visit, can we drive a communication between the provider and the patient of, this is the condition that you have. This is what we've done so far. This is the roadmap to health for you in the future. And most importantly, for your condition, these are adverse events that could occur. If this happens, I want you to go straight to Emerge. If this happens, don't go to the hospital. They can be dangerous places. Message me on the platform. And if these things happen, actually they're normal. Not to worry, no action required. Lowers readmission rates, provides care and assurance to the patient after they're gone. Big, big change. We also are working now with a major hospital to address some of those scheduling and patient information problems that had plagued us before. So we continue to do these projects. And our vision for healthcare reform is now clear. People-centered health is about making each and every individual be as well as they can be. Connect people with their health record and their care team. This encourages collaborative care, enables patient advocacy, and drives system efficiencies. Ongoing communication between the care provider and the patient can build a strong and trusting relationship, which can then be used to influence behaviors. So health coaching delivers the motivation and encouragement necessary for people to make the lifestyle changes necessary for them to continue to be well. So get people their health records, engage them, involve them in their care, encourage them to be responsible for what they do, and coach them to wellness. An engaged patient is a happier person and a healthier person. This is a new approach to healthcare. It's been 10 years since we started this ordeal through the healthcare system, and I'm very pleased to say that my wife is fine now. But the healthcare system still needs work. When we approach a complex problem on our own, it can be tough to get anywhere. But when we create an ecosystem of like-minded collaborators, in this case involving researchers, academics, government, healthcare providers, and businesses working together, we can do great things and change the world. Thank you.